Well, it looks like our favorite couple are back at it again. You probably already know what I'm talking about. I'll just repeat it right here. Jada Pinkett Smith started talking a lot of shit about Will Smith again. This time, it was probably the worst revelation that she's made, one that can change the course of everything Will Smith has done lately. For example, I'll get to it. She claimed that they've been divorced or separated for 6 years now. That just means that everything Will has done to defend Jada or put up with everything that Jada did was for nothing. Every time he's called her his wife just makes no sense anymore. Because of this strange thing happening, I decided to make a tier list while also telling you a little bit about what happened, which is also why I'm making a tier list out of it, because why not? So to start off, the revelation of them being separated for about 6 or 7 years, that's definitely an S tier. Mostly because it's game changing, completely game changing. Everything that's happened is just completely shattering because he's done it to defend his wife when she's not even his wife anymore. Or at least she's not even considering herself his wife. So the next one is Jada openly talking about how Tupac was her soulmate and still probably is to this day.
Were you ever jealous of the love Jada had for Tupac?
Oh, fuck yeah.
I wanted to record this video earlier, but then she went on another interview and said that Tupac was asking her to marry him. And she just throws it out in the open. I wanted to give this a B tier at first, but I'm deciding that it's an A tier, mostly because of the new information that's come out, because I know that Jada's been calling Tupac her soulmate. So let's get to another one. Probably one of the most iconic moments that has happened to Will Smith. That got him banned from the Oscars for 10 years.
Jada, I love you. G.I. Jane 2, can't wait to see it. All right? That was a nice one. Okay. I'm out here. Uh-oh, Richard. Oh, wow. Wow. Will Smith just smacked the shit out of me.
Him slapping Chris Rock at the Oscars while yelling,
My wife's name out your fucking mouth!
if that's not crazy enough while they've been separated for so long, I don't know what is. That's probably the biggest change in perspective that I've had, because apparently she wasn't his wife anymore. What's even crazier that Jada apparently said, I think it was today or yesterday at the time of recording, that she was shocked when that happened.
What is going on? Now, first of all, I'm really shocked because, mind you, I'm not there. We haven't called each other husband and wife in a long time. I'm like, what is going on right now?
My wife's name
out of your mouth, right?
She was completely shocked. This is like definitely an S tier moment to happen to Will while being embarrassed by Jada. So it's like, who's fooling who? Who's fooling themselves and who's being delusional? That statement is very loaded as soon as you realize that they've been separated for 6 years. This is an S tier moment for sure. I would even make another tier for it, like a S plus tier, because this is just unmatched, unrivaled. That's where his villain arc pretty much started, his insane quest for soul edge. Now we have another classic when Jada talked about her entanglement with August Alsina, who is honestly the worst XXL freshman from his his class.
I think you need to say clearly what happened.
Yeah, and then I got into an entanglement with August. That's what I said.
An entanglement?
Yes. Yes.
A relationship?
Yes, it was a relationship.
What makes it worse is that at first she denied it. August Alsina started getting very public about that, and then she suddenly said, yeah, the rumors are true. And what's so crazy about this is that she actually never cheated. It's very possible that she didn't cheat by then because they were already separated or on the brink of separating. What makes it worse is that August Alsina is her son's friend. It happens, I guess. Since that one isn't really, I mean, at the time it was pretty heavy. It was kind of a bombshell, but we apparently seem to get new information and new shit about the Smiths every single fucking month, and we never ask for it. So every time she does something like that, it's a bombshell. So I'll give this a B tier. Another one that's recently come to light is Jada Pinkett saying that she never wanted to marry Will and that she was crying about marrying Will. I mean, given her antics, it kind of, in a sense, it, you know, puts two and two together. There's not really much to say about this except for that she was talking about how she didn't want it, and I think her parents or his parents were kind of forcing it to be because they thought they would fit together and all that shit. But in my opinion, that's like a C tier. Not as much as a bombshell as the other ones, and not as much as a surprise given how she treats her so-called husband. Another pretty crazy moment that kind of showed the true colors of Jada Pinkett was when she started recording Will without his consent.
You know, Esther Perel is coming to the table. She's going to be at the red table. Would you say she has been instrumental in you and I redefining our relationship?
I would say don't just start filming me without asking me.
Oh my goodness.
if you could film me.
Astaire, come help us again, please.
I'm still dealing with foolishness.
Because she don't just.
Would you say that she helped us heal the hurts that we caused between one another?
My social media presence is my bread and butter, okay? So you can't just use me for social media and not, don't just start rolling. I'm standing in my house. Don't just start rolling.
Please watch Astaire at the red table because she's helped us a lot. Can't you tell?
Pretty crazy how that would change later on because his social media presence was suddenly not so favorable anymore after he hit Chris Rock. I mean, there's not much to say about it. It's like a pretty short clip. All it does is show Jada's controlling nature, her power moves, control, alpha, sigma, male grind set shit. That's another C tier. It's not much to say about it. It's not that insane. It's not that crazy, but it's still, kind of fucked up. The last entry in the tier list is a pretty wild one. It's a pretty extensive story as well, but to keep it short, Will Smith organized a birthday party. He's been planning it for 3 years for Jada, and she was angry at him because she thought it was a grand display of his ego. He organized a giant birthday party. He traced her family tree to find distant relatives to come visit for the birthday party. He planned a documentary about her family roots, and what she did was get mad at it. She didn't like it. She thought it was a giant display of Will's ego. That's rich people problems. That's not something us regular peasant folks have the power to do. What stands out in this situation is that she calls it a display of his ego, which is pretty ironic considering how she's every single moment that she's had on camera to interview someone or talk about, whatever the fuck she could talk about, she always decides to embarrass Will, and she always uses the limelight to do that, which in my opinion is also somewhat of a big display of ego, but who am I to talk? I guess I'm just a nobody. But mostly because of the irony of her words there, I would definitely give it an A tier. At the end of the day, it's two very rich people with a lot of money who are just crumbling down. I'm not rooting for either of them, to be honest, because they kind of fucked up their kids as well, and they're all ego trippers. Here's the final tier list. If you have any suggestions about changing the tier list or giving me new ideas to maybe fill in the tier list, I would love to see your tier lists about these situations that happened, and I want to see your reasoning. Show me your tier lists. I'm out. Thanks for watching, guys. Peace.